High in the mountains, nestled among the peaks and clouds, was a small village. This village, though small in size, was rich in culture and tradition. The air was crisp and fresh, filled with the scent of pine and the distant sound of flowing streams. The villagers lived in harmony with nature, respecting the land that provided for them. The people there were as strong and sturdy as the trees that clung to the mountainside. They were resilient, having weathered many storms and harsh winters. Their strength was not just physical but also emotional, as they supported each other through thick and thin. Life was simple, but their hearts were full of warmth. This was Lily's home. The village was a close-knit community where everyone knew each other. They celebrated festivals together, shared meals and looked out for one another. The sense of belonging was palpable, and it was this sense of community that made the village special.
Lily was known throughout the village for her kindness. She had a way of making everyone feel special and loved. Her acts of kindness were not grand gestures, but small, thoughtful actions that made a big difference in the lives of those around her. Her smile was as bright as the morning sun, and her laughter echoed through the valleys like the sweetest melody. It was said that her laughter could lift the spirits of even the weariest traveler. She loved to help her neighbors, whether it was carrying water for old Mr. Thompson, who had trouble walking, or simply spending time with the children, teaching them songs and stories, or collecting firewood for Mrs. Willowbrook, who lived alone and found it difficult to gather enough wood for the cold nights. Lily's presence was a source of comfort and joy for many.
Every morning, Lily would wake up early. She loved the quiet of the early hours, the way the world seemed to hold its breath just before dawn. She would greet the rising sun with open arms, her heart filled with joy. The first rays of sunlight would bathe the village in a golden glow, and Lily felt a deep connection to this daily miracle. The mountains held a special place in her heart. They were not just a backdrop to her life, but a living, breathing entity that she felt deeply connected to. They were her playground, her sanctuary, her home. She knew every trail, every hidden nook, and every secret spot where wildflowers bloomed. One day, dark clouds gathered above the mountain peaks. The villagers sensed that a storm was coming, one that would test their strength and unity. But they were not afraid, for they knew that as long as they stood together, they could weather any storm. The storm hit the village with unexpected fury. Rain lashed down, turning the once peaceful streams into raging torrents. The wind ripped through the narrow streets, tearing off roof tiles and sending debris flying through the air. Fear gripped the villagers' hearts as the storm raged on. The mountain, usually a source of comfort and strength, now seemed like an angry beast. Lightning flashed, illuminating the terrified faces of the villagers. Thunder roared, shaking the very foundations of their homes.
Lily huddled inside with her family, listening to the storm's symphony of destruction. She prayed it would pass quickly, but deep down, she knew the mountain was hurting.
When the storm finally subsided, the villagers emerged from their battered homes to a scene of devastation. Despite the destruction around her, Lily felt a surge of determination. She knew she had to help. Putting on her sturdiest boots, she ventured out into the village, ready to offer a helping hand wherever it was needed.
Lily helped clear debris, comforted her neighbors, and offered words of encouragement. Her spirit, unbroken by the storm, seemed to lift the spirits of those around her. Even amidst the chaos and destruction, Lily's kindness shone through.
Days turned into weeks as the villagers worked tirelessly to rebuild their lives. Lily never complained. She worked alongside her neighbors, her small hands making a big difference. Her unwavering spirit reminded everyone that even in the darkest of times, hope could bloom.
One afternoon, as Lily was helping Mrs. Willowbrook clear debris from her garden, a stranger arrived in the village.
Section 4. A stranger arrives, seeking the storm's gift. In a quaint village nestled between rolling hills and dense forests, a stranger arrived, his eyes filled with determination and hope. The villagers watched curiously as he made his way through the cobblestone streets, his presence a stark contrast to their daily routine.
The stranger introduced himself as Eldrick, a traveler from a distant land. He spoke with a voice that carried the weight of many journeys, each word resonating with the wisdom of experience. The villagers gathered around him, intrigued by his tales of far-off places and the purpose that brought him to their humble home. He had heard tales of a rare flower that bloomed only in the mountains after the fiercest storms. This flower, he explained, was not just any ordinary bloom. It was said to possess extraordinary healing properties, capable of curing ailments that no other remedy could touch. Eldric's eyes sparkled with hope as he shared his quest with the villagers. This flower, he believed, held the key to healing his ailing village. Back in his homeland, a mysterious illness had spread, leaving many bedridden and without hope. Eldric's journey was not just for himself, but for the countless lives depending on the miracle of this elusive flower.
Eldric described the flower as having petals the color of the twilight sky, with a luminous glow that shimmered even in the darkest night. It was a sight to behold, a beacon of hope in the midst of despair. The villagers listened intently, their imaginations painting vivid pictures of this magical bloom. He believed it possessed a magic that could heal even the most grievous wounds. The flower's essence, he said, was like a balm for the soul, capable of mending not just the body, but the spirit as well. Eldric's conviction was palpable, and it stirred something deep within the hearts of those who heard his plea.
The villagers, though sympathetic to Eldric's plight, were hesitant. They had lived in the shadow of the mountains for generations, and the tales of the treacherous paths and fierce storms were well known. The idea of venturing into such danger for a flower seemed like a fool's errand to many. No one had ever heard of such a flower. The stories Eldric shared were new to them, and while they were moved by his passion, they were also skeptical. The village elders exchanged worried glances, their minds racing with the implications of such a quest. Moreover, the mountain was still treacherous after the storm. The paths were slick with mud, and the air was thick with the scent of rain and earth. The journey would be perilous, and the risk of failure loomed large over Eldric's mission.
Lily, however, was captivated by Eldric's story. A young woman with a heart full of dreams and a spirit unafraid of challenges, she saw in Eldric's eyes a reflection of her own longing for adventure and purpose. She saw the desperation in his eyes, the hope that flickered like a fragile flame. It was a hope she understood all too well, a hope that had driven her to seek out her own path in life. Lily felt a connection to Eldric's quest, a pull that she could not ignore. Without hesitation, she offered to help him find the elusive flower. Her decision was met with mixed reactions from the villagers, but Lily's resolve was unwavering. Together, she and Eldric would face the unknown, driven by a shared belief in the power of the storm's gift.
Section 5. The Climb, a Journey of Hope and Healing.
Despite the dangers, Lily and Eldric set off the following morning. They climbed treacherous paths, crossed rushing streams, and navigated through dense forests. Lily's knowledge of the mountains proved invaluable.
With each passing day, their bond deepened. Eldric shared stories of his distant homeland, and Lily spoke of the mountain's secrets. Their journey became a testament to the power of compassion and the enduring strength of the human spirit.
The air grew thinner as they ascended. The once familiar trees gave way to rugged rocks and patches of snow. Lily felt the mountain testing her resolve, but her determination never wavered. She wouldn't let Eldric, or the hope he carried, down.
Finally, after days of arduous climbing, they reached a secluded plateau bathed in ethereal moonlight. Section 6. Light in the darkness, the storm flower blooms. In the heart of the rugged mountain plateau, where the winds howled and the storms raged, a single flower stood resilient. It was a sight that defied the harshness of its surroundings, a beacon of light in the darkness.
The sight of the flower took Lily's breath away. She had heard tales of the storm flower, but seeing it in person was an entirely different experience. The stories did not do justice to its ethereal beauty. It was even more beautiful than Eldric had described. The delicate petals seemed to shimmer with an otherworldly glow, capturing the essence of the twilight sky. Each petal was a masterpiece, painted with hues that shifted and changed with the light. Its petals, the color of the twilight sky, seemed to glow with an inner light. The flower appeared almost magical, as if it held within it the secrets of the universe. It was a living testament to the wonders of nature, a reminder of the beauty that could be found even in the most unexpected places. It was a beacon of hope, a testament to nature's resilience. In a world often filled with darkness and despair, the stormflower stood as a symbol of endurance and strength. It was a reminder that even in the harshest conditions, life could find a way to thrive.
Eldrick carefully approached the flower, his eyes filled with awe and reverence. He had spent years searching for this elusive bloom, and now, standing before it, he felt a profound sense of accomplishment. The journey had been long and arduous, but it had all been worth it for this moment. He knelt beside it, his weathered hand hovering over its luminous petals. The flower seemed to pulse with life, its glow intensifying as if responding to his presence. Eldrick felt a connection to the flower, a bond that transcended words. It was as if he were in the presence of something sacred. The flower was more than just a plant. It was a symbol of hope, a reminder of the resilience of life. Eldrick felt a deep sense of gratitude for being able to witness such a miracle.
With the utmost care, Eldrick plucked the flower. He knew that this delicate bloom needed to be handled with the greatest of care. It was a precious gift from the mountain, a treasure that needed to be cherished and protected. He whispered words of gratitude to the mountain, thanking it for this precious gift. The mountain had been both a challenge and a guardian, and Eldrick felt a deep sense of respect for its power and majesty. Lily watched in silent wonder, her heart filled with a sense of peace and fulfillment. The flower had a calming effect on her, its beauty soothing her soul. She felt a connection to the natural world, a sense of belonging that she had never experienced before.
As they made their way back down the mountain, Lily couldn't shake the feeling that they had witnessed something truly extraordinary. The journey had been challenging, but the reward had been beyond their wildest dreams. They had found not just a flower, but a symbol of hope and resilience. They carried with them not just a flower, but a symbol of hope, a reminder that even in the darkest of times, beauty and resilience could prevail. The stormflower was a testament to the power of nature, a beacon of light in the darkness. It was a reminder that no matter how difficult the journey, there was always hope to be found.